Mr. Chairman, you're going to my home state for a field congressional hearing. It seems to me it's on the issue of immigration. It seems to me that immigration has several components. We have the border. We have the fact that 2,000 are now reported to be on their way here. They want to beat the election. Actually, the probably inauguration is what they should be thinking about, not the election. There are gang members that have been identified who are from Venezuela here in the United States. And then we've got the people who are illegally here in the country. So what are you going to do about this?
Well, the main thing is we got to win the election, because then we got a chance to pass H.R. 2, the bill we passed a year and a half ago, sitting somewhere in the Senate. Chuck Schumer won't bring it up. That would actually have secured the border, dealt with the catch and release policy, dealt with the asylum rules, all the things that we need to deal with in our immigration law. But remember, this is just a willful decision by the Biden-Harris administration. Day one, they decided we're no longer going to build a wall. We're no longer going to have remain in Mexico. And when you get here, you will not be detained. You will be released. And that's why everyone came. And frankly, who could fault people for wanting to come to the greatest country ever? But when you put in those three policies, people come, and we're on pace to get to 12. We know 10 million. We're on pace to get to 12 million when this administration is finished. That's equivalent to the entire population of Ohio. And when you do that, bad people come along too. And we're going to hear from, we've had hearings like this already, but we're going to hear from sheriffs, law enforcement people, what happens to crime. We're going to hear from families who've been impacted by criminal elements who've come across our border illegally. That's what this is all about. And the only way we solve this, though, is on November 5th, putting President Trump back in the White House and Republicans in control of the Congress.
You know what's been actually borderline insane is that the Biden administration says that we have people checking at the border to see, we vet them at the border. But the data we get to vet the people coming in is from the country of origin. We don't have diplomatic relations with Iran. We don't have diplomatic relations with Venezuela. I mean, those countries are not giving us data to vet. I mean, I guess we can check all the people from the UK who might try to get in. But I mean, the whole insanity, the insanity that we are truly vetting anybody to come in, even those who are stopped.
Yeah, and that's why 98 people who were on the terrorist watch list got through, because we don't have the right kind of vetting thing in place. And when you have that volume, that amount of people, bad things are just bound to happen. And we have seen it, whether it's the gang activity we saw in Aurora, Colorado, whether it's these bad guys, terrible guys who did terrible things, Lake and Riley's family, on and on it goes. So this is what happens when you have an administration who says we are not going to secure the border and gets rid of the very policies, again, willfully, deliberately, in a premeditated way. On day one, they change those policies, and it's led to this influx. And the only way you turn it around is put another guy in the Oval Office, which I think is going to happen.
It's perplexing to me, Secretary of Homeland Security Mayorkas. Every time he testifies, I watch to try to understand, what his thinking is. And even with Vice President Harris, when she answers things on the campaign, is that, maybe there is some sort of legitimate reason or but I never feel like we get an actual answer so we can weigh whether we agree with it or not.
No, they filibuster, they talk around it. We have to press them for. I still remember when I asked Mayorkas, this is a couple years ago, what is the status? And then it was a handful of people who were on the terrorist watch list. What is their status? We know you've encountered them. Where are they detained? Where are they at? And he said, I'll have to get back with you. He didn't know. I mean, you're the Secretary of Homeland Security, and you're testifying in front of Congress, the Judiciary Committee, the Committee of Jurisdiction over your agency, and you can't answer the status of people on the terrorist watch list. So it is frustrating when this guy testifies. The good news is I don't think he's going to be Secretary of Homeland Security much longer, because I think President Trump is going to be the new commander-in-chief.